time now for us to say to the government of the United States, here we are, here we stand. The black men, the children of slaves that built your country, that fought and died in all your wars. Now look, we don't intend to live in poor housing. We don't intend to live like dogs. You owe us a debt.
What's up, guys? What's up, family? Welcome back to this channel. Today, I want to react to a very heavy and controversial statement made by none other than Minister Louis Farrakhan, a man loved by many and criticized by just as many. In this particular video clip, Farrakhan boldly declares that God will punish the white Americans because of how they have historically treated the black people. Now, before I dive into the actual video and give my thoughts, I think it's only right that we take a moment to understand who Mr. Louis Farrakhan is, what he stands for, and why his words still carry weight in the black community. You know, Louis Farrakhan is a name that sparks passion. He's been called a visionary, a revolutionary, a controversialist, and to some, even a prophet. Farrakhan is the long-time leader of the Nation of Islam, a black nationalist and religious movement that has been a voice for the voiceless for so many decades. In the year 1970s and 80s, Louis Farrakhan rose to prominence after stepping into the leadership void left by Elijah Muhammad. What he did was only resurrect the Nation of Islam. He revived its militant spirit, its message of self-reliance, and its unapologetic critique of white supremacy. What he did was not only to resurrect the Nation of Islam, he revived its militant spirit, its message of self-reliance, and its unapologetic critique of white supremacy. Farrakhan is not your typical civil rights figure. He doesn't preach integration, he preaches liberation. He doesn't ask for justice, he warns that divine justice is coming. And whether you agree or disagree with him, you can't ignore the fact that he has been one of the most consistent voices in the defense of the black dignity for over 60 good years. Through the Nation of Islam, Farrakhan has empowered thousands and thousands of black men and women to reclaim their identity, their purpose, and their community. And his foundation is built on three pillars. Number one, self-discipline. Number two, self-education. And number three, economic independence. He has established schools, businesses, farms, and community centers. He helps transform drug addicts, gang members, and ex-cons into community leadership. And perhaps his most iconic moment was organizing the Million Man March in the year 1995, one of the largest and most peaceful protests in the American history. That march wasn't just about race. It was about responsibility, about a family, about unity among the black men. Whether or not you agree with everything that he says in his speeches, let's be honest here. Farrakhan has said some controversial things that you cannot deny his impact in the society. I want us to watch this full preaching in this video by Louis Farrakhan, then we come back and have a talk.
Frustrated men, guns and drugs, and men with no creative mind. Guns and drugs, and a man that is not really a man of his own destiny. So, brothers, when you're like this, you don't see the brother sitting next to you as your flesh. Look at the brother sitting next to you. Look behind you and look at all your brothers all the way down. Look at them. Just look at them. Look in front of you and see all these men up here. Do you see yourself as their family? No. I came in here tonight. I want to hear Farrakhan. Well, something happened while you were in the line. You never saw anything like that before. Look at all these black men, man. They lined up all the way to the freeway, wrapped around the building. Nobody arguing, nobody fighting. Look at this, man. Look, look. Whoa, whoa, what is this? And when you sit down, ain't no women in the audience. You ain't rubbing shoulders with another woman that you could check out to see how short her dress is, what her thighs look like. You're sitting next to your brother, so there shouldn't be any sexual stimulation from being close. But out in the hood, it's every man for himself. And so when you got a gun, you feel you got power. You're at home, you call the dog may come.
Sad. Sad, brothers. That's sad.
You're at home, you call your children, they may come. But when you put out the gun, people start coming to that. What you say you want? Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll give. That's that you feel that's real power. And then the kicker is when you squeeze the trigger and you watch the body of your brother gyrate under the heat of a bullet, and you see him cry out, "Oh God," and he gasps, and you watch his life ooze out, and you don't have no feeling for him. You go back home with your boys, you eat a beef burger, a hamburger, a pizza, and you go to bed like you did nothing. But those women that are out there cheering you tonight, they got to carry their sons to a final resting place. For every black person that you kill, you have wounded whole families. Whole families around. Then you set up vengeance in those that are remaining behind, so they're plotting now to get you. And you know, I watch white folks send a contraption up that circles the earth. I watched them send a telescope up, and it didn't work. And then they sent something else up to correct the telescope. Tens of thousands of miles away. And you mean to tell me they can't correct a condition that is going on in every major city of America? Something is wrong. Now, brothers, you are programmed right now for total destruction. See, when they put out a movie called Boys in the Hood and show us to the world at our worst behavior, when they put a movie out called Menace to Society, and you see your brothers pistol whip a Korean woman reach over the counter, shoot her, and then go home and take a video camera of it and sit down and laugh at it. And you in the movie laughing at it too. White folk have sent that movie all over the world. And do you know what's being done? White people all over the world and your own black brothers are looking at you through the lens of a movie camera, and they are saying, my God, black people are terrible. The biggest industry in America today is prisons. They're going to build more and more and more. Who they building them for, brothers? It costs nearly $40,000 a year to keep you in jail. They're not interested in giving you education. They like you just like you are, so that 3 strikes, you're in for life. And with 3 strikes, they've got a free worker. In other words, another plantation, brothers. You're a slave for the rest of your life. What is it, brother? That's right. That's right. That's right. If you don't want to go with the program, they'll program. And so here you are, programmed for annihilation. And look, brothers, the guns that you have in the community right now is a justification for big tanks to come in the neighborhood. And guess what? Our women are so distraught at the level of violence. Our mayors, our black mayors and white mayors and police chiefs, they're saying, look, we can't handle this. So they're calling for the National Guard. They're calling for reinforcement from the Army. And pretty soon, if this doesn't get turned around, you're going to see your blood running in the gutters, because you're going to run out with your pop gun. And they're going to come in with helicopter gunships and tanks rolling in the community, and you don't have nothing to match it. But this little sense of power that you have is driving you crazy to kill your own. You're menace too. Who's menace 1? Who's menace 1? If I'm John the second, there got to be John the first that I come from. If you are menace 2, who's menace 1? White males have menaced the earth, and now they produce you as a menace to who? To yourself and your own community. So what must be done? There was an ass tied.
Talk about that. Talk about it.
And a young colt was tied with the ass. And Jesus, when he met Peter and the disciples, he said, look, I know you're a fisherman, Peter, but I don't need you fishing in that sea. Follow me, and I'm going to make you a fisher of men. Because our people are in the sea of sin, and somebody has to go after them. But they like the water that they're in. So you gotta bait your hook with something the fish like. But fishing with a hook is slow. So Jesus said, cast your net on the right side. Reverend, we gotta come with the right stuff. These black men are not here tonight to be played with. They are here tonight because they want to change in their life and they want to change in their community. All praise is due to Allah. So brothers, in 1995, I would like to take 1 million black men to Washington, D.C. Tell our sisters, our wives, our mothers, our grandmothers, sweetheart, this time, please stay at home. Mother, you have always stood for us, and we've never stood up for our families. But we're coming of age now, Mom. And we want to go to Washington and state our case. Our fathers, sweat, blood, and tears built this country. Our fathers and our mothers worked from can't see morning to can't see night with no pay to build the economy of the South, to fuel the economy and the industrial revolution of the North. Mother, wife, sister, auntie, baby, we fought in all America. Germany is paying reparations to the Jews for the Holocaust that the Germans put on the Jews. All Germans didn't do this, but all Germans are being taxed to pay for what was done to the Jews. In 1941, when Japan struck at Pearl Harbor, Japanese Americans were rounded up and sent to concentration camps. And the government admits she was wrong. She was wrong. So they're going to pay reparations to the Japanese. Look at our condition, brothers. Don't we need a repair job? Don't we need somebody to repair our broken heads, our broken hearts, and our broken pocketbooks? Brothers, here's what we have to do. I know our time is late, and I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to say to you that you who feel that you are despised and rejected, that you are the bottom rail, that you are the last, that you and I are a foolish people, God said, I will choose the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. I will choose the things that are not to bring to naught the things which are. I will choose the despised and the rejected, and the bottom rail will go to the top, and the last shall be the first. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our sight. Whether you know it or not, black man, God has chosen you. Not because of your blackness, but he's chosen you because you have suffered in the furnace of affliction. And now, as Reverend Jackson said, the more you burn gold, you never burn it, you only purify it by removing its dross. You are pure gold, black man, chosen by God now to do a mighty work. There is an ass tied.
All right.
Somebody's not using the donkey, but God said, go loose him. And if anybody asks you what you're doing, tell them the master has come. He has need of that donkey. Brothers, don't leave. Don't leave. You're gonna miss something if you leave. You're gonna miss this. Whether you want to know it or not, brothers, you are more important than you think you are. This Quran, which is the book of scripture of the Muslims, I would like to read a verse from it. It says, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, O people, keep your duty to your Lord. Let's stop right there. Every man among us knows you owe a duty to God. And you know how I know that you know? Because every one of you and every one of us, when we get in trouble, and each one of us in this room has been in some trouble that's so deep, you call on who? God. Now, when you called on him, brothers, what did you say? What did you say? You said, listen to your words now, God. And when you called him, you were real sincere because the trouble was deep. And listen to what you said. You said, God, if you just get me out of this one time, didn't you say it? How many have said it? Raise your hands. Come on. All right. Now look at what you said you was going to do. You said, God, if you get me out of this one time, I'll serve you for the rest, come on, of my life. You know you said it, and you know you lied. Brothers, when you said it, the Holy Quran says, and when I brought them safely to shore, lo, they set up other gods beside me. Surely man is ungrateful. You forgot. Now, brothers, the Quran says, keep your duty to your Lord, who created you from a single being and created its mate of the same essence. Stop. What does single mean? Is God one? He created you from himself. Oh, you gotta hear this. He created you and me from himself, and he created our mate of the same essence, meaning your woman is from God and you are from God, which means what? That the nature of God is your nature. So every one of you that are from God, and that's all, you are of divine. Your nature is divine. You are the people of God. Let's go a little further. You're black. Are you black because you're cursed? No. You're black because you are the first creature that he created. And you took your color from the darkness out of which you emerged. Listen good now. You're not black because you cursed. You're black because you are the original human being from whom all other human beings came. You are the first from God. Can you prove it, Farrakhan? Sure. Y'all all right? When they want to find the origin of man, they don't go to Europe. Where they go? What you say? I didn't hear you.
Now, let's get into the clip that's making waves. Farrakhan warns white Americans that because of centuries of violence, exploitation, slavery, segregation, and systemic racism, God is very much angry, and God will bring punishment to them. Now, first thing first, Farrakhan isn't just talking about personal or earthly revenge. He's talking about divine justice, a concept deeply rooted in the black liberation theology. Is drawing from the Bible, the Quran, and the history itself. This man understands history, and we all must agree with that. He's saying, no nation that has done what America has done to its black people. And honestly, when you look at slavery, the Jim Crow law, lynching, police brutality among the black people, mass incarceration, can really say that he doesn't have a point in all his speeches. I guess he has. Some will hear this and call it hate speech. I know that. Others will hear it and call it truth-telling. But Louis Farrakhan is not calling for violence. He's not asking for race war. He's issuing a warning that the universe or God, the karma, whatever you believe in, doesn't ignore injustice forever. They remember them. And let's be real here. He's not the first one to say something like this. Martin Luther King, you'll remember Martin Luther King said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Also, James Baldwin said, if we do not now dare everything, the fulfillment of that prophecy, recreated from the Bible in the song by a slave, is upon us. God gave Noah the rainbow sign, no more water, the fire next time. So Farrakhan is echoing that prophetic tradition. What do we learn from this? Please talk to me in the comment section, and of course, if you love this video, please subscribe. Here is the thing. We may not all agree with Mr. Louis Farrakhan's theology, or his tone, or even his tactics. But we have to ask ourselves some questions. Why is this message still resonating? Why in this year 2025 are black people still feeling like justice has never been truly served? White Americans have a reckoning to face, not just politically, but spiritually and morally. That's what Mr. Louis Farrakhan is getting at. You can call it punishment if you like. You can call it karma if you like. But the truth is, no nation can sow the seeds of oppression and never reap the consequences. I don't agree with everything that Mr. Louis Farrakhan is saying, but I understand where it's coming from. It's coming from the pain deep inside. It's coming from the truth. It's coming from the centuries of unhealed wounds in the black community. And maybe, just maybe, it's a warning we should all take seriously. The black people and white people. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think Louis Farrakhan's message is right or is a fact? Do you think he's preaching hate or truth? Or is he warning about justice? Guys, let's talk about this in our comment section. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like this video and share. This is AfriVlog.